Hi, it's Chad with Heirloom Farm and Forge, and woke up this morning and it's 27 degrees, and so it made me think I need to go around and winterize my cattle waterers. So here we have a double waterer, and the cows aren't in this pasture. They're in my winter sacrifice pasture, so there's no need having water in these things. Of course, as it gets colder, they're just going to freeze and break the valves inside of them. So I need to winterize them. First thing we got to do with that is shut off the valve inside this pipe. And I'm sure you can't see it down there, but there's a brass valve. And I had made this tool that fits over that brass valve. And so I put this tool down in there. Find the valve, which is the hardest part, and turn it a quarter turn. It shuts the valve off. And this is the little access panel. The water, and I always just hand tighten these screws. Kind of never know what you're going to find behind here. Some mud stacked up. There's usually a frog in there. No frog. But anyway, inside there is our overflow drain, and you don't glue this pipe in so that you can reach in here, wiggle it, and then you can just pull it out of there. And that allows the water to drain out your overflow, which comes out in this case right here. That drains all the water out of it so it won't freeze in the winter. Here's my fancy new pole barn. If you haven't watched the video on building this thing, check it out. I'll try to put it on the end screen here. But this is the water in the winter pasture where we keep the cows all winter to feed hay. And we want to keep this thing running, obviously, so the cows have water. We got to do this one a little different. Now with this one, I've got 3 valves inside this manhole. Feeds 3 different waterers. So let's take a look at this one. All right, there's our 3 valves. One going to this one, and one going to 2 others. And so we're going to shut off the 2 that we don't need, and I'll show you what we're going to do with this one that we do need to use. Since we can see a little better in this one, I'll try to show you how to shut these valves off. We use Ford fitting valves in here. I've used the other kind, gate valves, and well, these are gate valves too, but I've used the other kind with the long levers on them, and either the levers rust off and break off when you're trying to turn them off and on, or if you're using like a shark bite, it'll swivel and fall over where you can't get to it. Really recommend these kind brass Ford fittings. Okay, so I got on this one, and we just turn it a quarter turn. And I usually just hang this wrench up in a tree right here close, so I always know where it is. So on this one that we want to keep on, we'll do it a little different. Here's our valve, and what we do is, this is like a little valve that just lets a little bit of water shoot out this little 1/4-inch line. And so we're going to turn that on. And it keeps the water moving. It's not moving much yet. I'll turn on a little more. Of course, this water will be wasted because it'll go out the overflow. But I just like to get it to where it's moving the water about this much, to waste as little as possible, but also keep the water moving enough so it doesn't freeze. and it'll fill up until it gets to the top of that overflow, and then it'll just run out the overflow to over there where it dumps out. I like these little plastic Franklin valves. I used brass at first, but this is pretty bad sulfur water, and it seems to eat up those valves pretty quick. You can see what it's doing to the overflow valve there. And that was, pretty sure that was stainless steel. But not a big deal to change those. Those valves cost a lot more money. And then also, I put dirt on the top of this thing. Pretty much every year, I pile dirt up real high on it, but the cows and cows walk all over it and walk it off, and then it rains and washes off, and it ends up like this by the end of the year. So I'm gonna get some more dirt and pile on there. Helps keep it from freezing. Also, the big thing is it helps keep the cows, so the cows will rub on this edge here to scratch themselves, and they'll knock this over and it'll break that valve off. I've got one, they've already done that to it. So that's the #1 reason why I put dirt on top of them. I use these Malloy cattle waterers. This one's a double. I've got some singles. Not sponsored by Malloy or anything, but they're made right here in Missouri, and I really like them. Of course, the one time I open these up on camera and there's no critters living in here. Usually big old frog in them. Now this one's a little different too. It shuts off this water right here, but also the pig water over there, which has a hydrant, so I don't really need to shut that off. See what's in here. Lots of spider webs. And nothing. Oh, there was a mouse living in there one time. Oh, frog in that one. Saw him dive. Not so concerned about frogs, but sometimes there's a big old snake coiled up in there. There's a frog. 2 frogs. It's actually a happy sight because that means there's no snakes in here. So that's how I winterize these concrete cattle waterers. If you get any value at all out of these videos, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Helps me to get monetized and make some money that farming doesn't make you. Thanks for watching. I sure do appreciate you watching. I'm not crying, it's just cold.